So, the industrial age changed things in so many good ways, in so many good ways. But it's almost like we have taken it to the degree that it's unhealthy. I mean, we got to stop. We got to think. How does the mind work? I work in a grocery store and I drive cars, and people like to go really fast. And if you're going really fast, you might wreck. So that can be stressful. The amount of stress that we put on ourselves in this country to be successful has caused us to do industrialized schooling. Like, you can somehow put a child through a school factory and it's going to come out the best. But the human ingenuity is what makes us survive. We always have to, the mimicry to stay alive. So, what I see day in and day out in this new generation that's coming up is a lot of kids are not happy. They don't want racism. That's not going to help anybody. That takes all of our resources to put these people in jail to rehabilitate them when what they needed was better mental health care, job training. It is worth the investment in schools that are good schools. I went to a private kindergarten, and I remember it. It was small, and we used to go play on the fire engine. We had to play fire engine. Then we had the 80s. You remember the 80s, how that was? Cocaine, all that kind of stuff. So where are we going to go next? We're going to slow it down. And we're going to do that intelligently. And we're going to change things to make it more mentally friendly to different people of all different, genres of being. We have to be creative. We just have to. We have to have arts in the schools so people feel confident. I cannot tell you the amount of people I've met in the city of Richmond, and I do outreach, what I consider myself as a volunteer for the VMFA, and I talk to people that have never been to the museum, even though it's a mile from their house. They don't even know where it is. How can we live in the same world? What is the school's role? Well, right now it's industrialized, and I think you could watch any of Sir Ken Robinson's videos and say that's not going to work. I was talking to a teacher today. She's a black lady, and I hate to say she's missing a tooth, but it's expensive. And she's a science teacher, and she's working on getting her graduate degree. And we talked about, ideas, and she agreed. She said, yeah, she has $70,000 in a car. And she goes, that would be great. I said, well, that's to start with. If you've been with the school 20 years, you'll be making $200,000 a year. This is a starting fee for what is going to make our country or break it, which is education. You want money to make? No, you can't have money without education, or else it just goes all to hell. Like right now, what we've got. I was kind of winging it tonight at Kroger and just kind of laughing. I was fired. The machines kept messing up, and it looks bad. And I'm like, well, I'm going to fire this machine. You don't think get out of here. Go away. Let's do person-to-person contact. And that is actually one of the good things about the self-checkout, is that the people need help. So you get to go over and interact and talk. But it's all gray. I'm like, the marketing's, go to Disney. Say, Disney, come on, how can we make these corporations better? They got some genius people there that can work on it to make it like food is joyous because you're nourishing your body. But right now we're not. It's hard to get healthy food. So, they did call me about issues, and I was like, well, we'll work on it, but we got to slow stuff down and have the quality. And have good choices, and We have so much in this world. We have so many beautiful things. One thing I haven't gotten to do as much as I wish, but I did a lot more than my parents or grandparents, is I've driven across the country a couple times and flown in airplanes to the Cayman Islands. And those opportunities afforded me with a vision of what I'd seen and people I met. And I do meet people from all over the world. I walk Purple Dog, so we have little conversations. And I want other people to get the chance to learn by travel and tourism. I think that's a great way to spend money. I'm not sure a $450,000 house that you're never home because you're at the office all day is really the right way to spend money for heat, for electricity. I mean, granted, if you're going to have a big family party, you may have to rent out the Moose Lodge. But how many times a year does that happen? Just think on a day-to-day living basis of modular homes that are environmentally friendly that you can add on to, but basically a 2-bedroom with a kitchen and a living room and we do not need all the products that we are buying. So we have to switch that. We have to switch the industry. And my daughter's doing something pretty cute. She got a 1960s house. So it's a little large, but she works from home and her husband works from home. So they both have offices and they have a basement for the kids to have a bedroom. But they've decided to start, they have Angora goats and little pigs and chickens and all that kind of good stuff that brings good family memories. And plus then, the neighbors have never seen it. They're like, oh yeah, let me come over and see. I said, well, get your slop and bring your slop over and help feed the pigs. And that's a good lesson. Bringing us back to nature. So I think the conscientious intellect would agree that we can make some good changes in these corporations, that they're more ethical. I mean, when I go to work and I see the candy and cereal aisle, it's like it's all sugar. It's all sugar, and it's packaged cheaply in plastic. And what about reusable packaging? What about edible packaging like Night Shift? I'm the idea guy. We need to have a competition of scientists to come up with an edible plastic. Edible to the ground that can decompose and not hurt us. I mean, we obviously need that, but I don't know if petroleum would do that. I think 20 years ago I saw corn. They were making plastic bags out of corn, and I understand the fuel. We're not there with the solar power, but this is kind of an exciting era. Look at this beautiful vase. Yeah, it's my daughter's decoration. That's a really cool thing about her house, is that she's decorating at 1960s vintage. That's birds of a feather flock together. My daughter went that, but see, she's got her little. She's vintage, so she's having a lot of fun with decorating this in a 1960s style. She'll probably have a party and everybody wear vintage clothing and stuff like that. Play spin the, I don't know, Twister, right? Twister's that game. So, and she's creative and she's expressive.